Hi everyone, Jean here. I thought I'd do an update on my water fast that I completed about 2.5 weeks ago. So, I wrote an article on uncensoredwisdom.com about my experience, which I actually didn't expect to do 19 days. I actually started with the intention of doing 10, but it was such an amazing journey, I would say. Like when I was actually doing it, I just felt to keep extending it and to go longer. So in the end, as I've mentioned previously, my blood pressure dropped about 50 to 60 points, and since then it's still continued to be good. In fact, it's continuing to drop, and one of the things I've had to sort of adjust to is my body functioning at a lower blood pressure. Now it's still, by anyone's standards, still, around 140 on 90. It's not amazing, but when it was over 200, was certainly concerning. And that has been such a joy that I finally feel like I've tackled that. And I do think that had a lot to do with the visceral fat and my body actually removing some of the toxic waste that was there and assisting my liver to detoxify. So in the water fast, I dropped from 60 kilos to 53 kilos, and was able to put back about 2 kilos. I eat pretty much a lot during the day, and I've fairly much stabilized at 55 kilos, which is about 5 kilos lighter than what I was sitting at. Energetically, I feel fantastic. I've gotten back to pretty much everything that I was doing previously. I haven't started doing anything like push-ups or sit-ups or that kind of thing yet. I did try pretty early on, which was a kind of a big mistake. And I actually felt a little bit ill just for a few hours and thought, no, my body's not ready for that just yet. I think you really have to listen to what your body's telling you to do. So I've been building back my strength, and one thing I have noticed is, well, kind of unfortunately, is that I'm not really able to have the chai tea that I've made for a very long time, because I'm going to have to rejig the formula because it's got black tea in it. And I'm finding that the caffeine, even in the black tea, the homemade chai, is just too strong for me now. And if I have one even in the morning, I am only able to sleep about 4 or 5 hours and I'm wide awake. So, and I really don't feel like I want to function on that little sleep. So yeah, I've written an article on it. Since then I've done a podcast with Senator Alex Antic, which you guys can check out, on the No Jab No Pay amendment, and we talked about a whole lot of other stuff, including excess deaths, data, lack of transparency, the reasons for Senate estimates, and the political way forward and I guess the social way forward through navigating what the current climate is socially and politically. And I've done a couple of talks in person, and we've also launched for healthallianceaustralia.org a business directory. So if you are interested in that, do check that out. It's a free listing for those associated businesses. And I think that's it. Oh yes, what I was going to say, that I think too that since the water fast, it's actually changed my relationship to food, and I'm very, very conscious of what I put in my body, and I was before, but even more so. So I'm making a lot of things from scratch. Got out my blender, my food processor, my juicer. I'm making one of these juices which has a beetroot, celery, apple, orange and carrot, which was a staple in my recovery from postpartum cardiomyopathy in 2011-12 again. And I actually don't find it a chore anymore. So it's interesting that kind of mental attitude has changed. My cortisol levels have incredibly dropped. I didn't even know that they were high, and I feel really quite relaxed about life and positive about even despite everything that's happening in the world. So I'm really, really grateful that a lot of people here, as well as on LinkedIn, encouraged me to keep going after I got to, I think it was a day 7 or day 10, to just keep pushing through. It was definitely an amazing experience that I really didn't expect. I only ever really at the start of it intended to do 10 days, and I am really glad that I pushed through and did 19. Okay, do check out my article on uncensoredwisdom.com, and yeah, if you've got any questions, let me know.